Om. Allow the mind to download all of its content and thereby become quiet. It does so if you allow it. It is that simple. Also, by sporting a smile on the lips, you create or you manifest the inner cheerfulness. Meaning, I am cheerful naturally. This is a big discovery that I do not need any outward stimulus to be cheerful. In myself, by myself, I am cheerful. That is freedom. Thus, the mind is quiet, I am cheerful, sitting upright, the body is vigorous or agile. I look at myself. I look at this life. You want to call it my life? Okay, you may. Or you may even say this life, or my life, if you will. I rise above all selfish demands and concerns, all, and allow the life to become yajna, purusha yajna. In which the personal self, the me and the mine, are offered as an oblation in the fire of wisdom, understanding, to Ishvara, the whole. I offer this life as an oblation to Ishvara, thus making life a yajna. Be aware of the organ of speech, walk. I visualize the walk, the organ of speech, as Rigveda, the foremost of the Vedas. which is part of this yajna. Life as yajna. Meaning, I try to speak the truth when needed to speak. And I speak in sweet tones. And avoid hurting others at all costs. Now the speech is Rigveda and contributes to the yajna. Becomes yajniya. Then I am aware of the prana, the vital force of the body-mind. Clearly experienced as breath, but pervading the entire body, the prana. And I visualize this prana as Samaveda. Meaning, all the energy of body-mind is an offering to Ishvara. Meaning, all actions emanating from the body-mind are aimed at serving others, family, society, the humanity at large, and all life. In this creation. Then I visualize the knowledge in the head and the understanding and learning in the heart. The knowledge and wisdom. Collectively called jnanam in this context. As Yajurveda, the third of the Vedas, the knowledge and wisdom is the third of the Vedas. Thus they become part of the yajna. Meaning, the knowledge and wisdom are an offering to Ishvara. Ishvara being the whole, knowledge and wisdom are employed to serve family, community, society, and humanity at large, and all life in the creation. In summary, speech is Rigveda, prana is Samaveda, knowledge is Yajurveda, life is Yajna, an offering to Ishvara. Thus, I become free from all the personal demands and concerns. That is freedom. Ever present, need not be created, ever present, only to be embraced. I embrace this freedom. And allow the remaining part of the life the duration is not important. The spirit alone matters. Allow the remaining part of life to become yajna, purusha yajna. Purusha is the person, male or female. This is not difficult. In fact, this is easy. I have to understand that this is easy. The personal life, with its myriad desires and fears, is indeed difficult. This is easy. Life is yajna. Relax. Sit at ease. Keep the eyes closed for a while. And then open slowly. Harihi Om Shrutismrutipurāṇānāmālayam Karuṇālayam Namāmi Bhagavatpāda Shankaram Dehānyatva, that is over. Amanastvānna me duḥkharāgadveṣabhayādayaḥ aprāṇo hyamanāḥ śubhra ityādi śrutiśāsanāt. We have covered most of it except one word, bhaya, fear. You see, one must understand, fear one should understand. If you are just constantly afraid, then who can help? One fear replaced by another fear. So, one Mahatma was telling, please bear with me. Okay? Don't think that I am repeating the same thing. No. One Mahatma was telling, if you look at your horoscope, he was talking about horoscope, Akhandanandaji Maharaj. If the moon is in good place for you today, you look at today, moon is in good place. Like that they make some calculation, you know. Moon is taken as a planet, but chalo, all that leave it, but moon is in good place. Within 15 days, the moon will go into bad place, you know that? Ho gaya na? Then, today Shani is in good place, suppose. Within 7.5 years, it will go into bad place. Not 7.5, 7. And Guru is in good place, suppose. Within 1.5 years, he will go to bad place. Okay? Like that, Rahu is in good place. Rahu seems to be very troublesome guy. He is in good place. Within 2 years, he will go to bad place. So, you just cannot have all of it in your favor at any given time. Therefore, there is fear. People live in fear. I ask you one question. A family is there, rich people. Generally, this kind of superstitions are there for rich people only. For rickshaw pullers, etc., what fear? They don't have any fear. The rickshaw, I have a friend, a rickshaw puller. I used to take classes in Nellore in those days, not anymore. And where I stayed outside, exactly the other side of the road, there was a movie theatre. Not that I go to movies. So one rickshaw puller used to come to the movie theatre occasionally, once in 2-3 days. I befriended him and I used to talk with him. You know what he told? I get up in the morning, bread and tea, go to the railway station and then carry passengers this way, that way. Up to 2:30, I make 100 rupees, something like in those days. Give 70 rupees to the wife. Now you and children do whatever you like. And out of 30, I drink 10 rupees. And I spend 5 rupees for the movie. Go to the movie, not every day, once in 2-3 days. And then remaining money I will keep for a rainy day. And he has no worries. He is a liberated soul. He has no worries, no fears, nothing. He doesn't know any worships, kamya karmas, etc. Nothing he knows. You say how life is very simple. But people live in fear. Whereas rich people, you know this, they employ an astrologer. They have an astrologer, family astrologer. You know that? Family siddhanti, like family physician in America. People back in India, the rich ones have family siddhanti. What siddhanti? So means what? That family who has a siddhanti going on. So what does it mean? Does it not mean that they are afraid? They live in fear? Is it not? It is not rocket science. You can easily understand that they live in fear. Just I gave you an example that people live in fear. So what to do now? The idea is not to condemn anybody. You should understand the nature, whole nature of fear and the structure of fear. That's why I gave the example like that. The structure of fear. So, what is your name? Pandu. What is the spelling you use? P-I-N-D-U. That's why you are having all kinds of problems. Now what is the solution? From today onwards your name should read as Paanduu. Then you will be perfectly all right. This you have seen from India, you must have seen in India. People from India know this very well. I have a friend, Rao, R-A-O, they write like that. This Rao is apabhramsha of Raya. Raya is Raja, Kshatriya. Raja becomes Ravu, all Kshatriya kind of thing it is. And this Rao, one fine morning I saw his name and his signature, he started writing as R-O-W, not R-A-O. I said, what happened to you? You forget the spelling of your own name. What is this Ro? You are not Ro, you are Rao. No, this is the new spelling. Why? Because of the old spelling, I was not getting promotion in office. I am having problems at home also because of that old spelling. Now one person who specializes in this kind of knowledge, he is a specialist. So he has advised me to change the name to R-O-W. Change means you have to really change. On the name board you have to throw it and put a new name board. In the signature you have to change it like that. And submit an application form in the bank, change of signature affidavit you submit. And this is how you change it fully. Then look at what happens now. The life will take off in the right direction. That is what he is doing. People are deeply superstitious, very deeply. And I am sorry to say the rich, the powerful, the celebrities, the politicians, and finally the gurus of the world are not an exception. Very rarely you come across an exception. All common people, simple people, poor people, they are exception. They don't have any superstitions. What a thing it is. That's why in Telugu there is a proverb, చదువుకున్నవాడు కంటే చాకలివాడు మేలు. Means the washerman is better than an educated person. Because you get educated into a lot of ignorance and a lot of superstitions and a lot of fears. Whereas a washerman, he has no fear, he lives his life as it comes. So you have to understand the whole nature and structure of fear. That means you watch the fear. How to understand? By watching this blessed thing, I understand how it operates. Without watching, how will I understand? So you watch the fear, you learn about it, about the fear, you learn all about it. Then you come into direct contact with the fear. Means you are afraid. When you are afraid, you watch that fear. That is how you come in direct contact with fear. Never escape from fear. All the methods just now I have told, they are all escapes. And you pray, people pray, they say pray. And then they say worship, temple, worship God, puja, etc. All of this are escapes from fear. They could be, not necessary. You can pray without fear also. You should. Similarly, you can do puja without fear. So, but generally, people employ all these methods to escape from fear. There is no escape from fear. How can you escape from fear? When fear becomes like your shadow, how can you escape from it? You cannot. So, a child was afraid. And you know what the child, afraid of some spirit. And you know what the child does? It takes a comforter and covers itself and sits inside. And so fear is outside the comforter. And he peeps through the small opening in the comforter, whether fear is still outside or gone. Something like that. People are like that. They try to escape from fear. You see, you should never ever escape from fear. In fact, there are many fears. Fear of death. People have fear of death. The young do not have it. Somehow, the young do not have it. They have to mature to get the fear of death. Mature into old age or middle age, then the fear of death will come. And fear of death they will put also. They will put also. So by the time you do Shashtipurti function, fear of death settles down in you. Well settles. And from then onwards, every birthday is a fear only. So people are like that. Fear of death. Then fear of darkness. Do you have fear of darkness? You have to watch it. When it is dark, are you afraid? Nothing wrong in it. You need not feel embarrassed about it. Are you afraid? I was afraid. When it is dark, I was afraid. Then I examined the fear of darkness. Why am I afraid? Maybe there is something else in the darkness. What could be that something else? Maybe an evil spirit. And what is the Atma of the evil spirit? And what is my Atma? Same. Not two different Atmas. It is only one Atma. That is what we study in Vedanta. Then I was sitting in the darkness and I addressed the evil spirit. Oh, evil spirit, if you are around, I bless you. You and I have the same Atma. Please be nice, be happy. I said. Meanwhile, electricity came. Darkness is gone. That was the end of my fear of darkness. Since then, I was never afraid of darkness anymore. I may be inconvenienced by darkness, but not afraid. You got the point? It's not about me. Generally, I made an anecdote and told you. Then, sometimes there may be fear of losing a job. It may be with everybody. That is not the way to live. If we lose this job, we will get another job. This problem could be there with Swamis also. This camp is over, next camp, will it be there or not? I could be afraid also. So, this fear of losing a job, etc., then fear of loneliness. This is there with almost everybody. Fear of loneliness. Yeah, that's why you always want to be surrounded by somebody or the other. So, all these parties, etc., people attend only because of the known or unknown fear of loneliness. You should not escape from loneliness. You should watch loneliness and you should watch the fear that the loneliness causes. And then there is the fear of not becoming successful. I could have that fear. I came to Phoenix hoping that all of you will be appreciative of my classes, but it may not happen that way. I am afraid what will happen to the classes, will they appreciate it or not? Possible. This Swami could have the fear of not being successful. What to speak of the worldly people who are in a job, etc. And the students have this fear. They can have. Generally, parents put this fear into the heads of the students. So, left to them, they may not have any fear of failing or passing the exam. If they pass, they pass. If they fail, they fail. They take it in their stride. But parents put some pressure into their consciousness, and therefore they end up in living with fear. Therefore, there is fear, a kind of central fear. And these are what I described are multiple expressions of that fear. Therefore, there is always fear which comes out in one form or the other. People live like that. So, you have to understand, I am giving you the structure of fear. So that the better you understand the structure of fear and face it, don't escape, you will get rid of it. That is the way how to do it. Suppose I tell you, many people in India, what they do, they are afraid. Everybody is afraid. They live with the fear. And so what they do, the ring with Hanuman is a big sale item. Ring with Hanuman. So they purchase a ring with Hanuman and put some kunkuma to that Hanuman on the ring. And then do like this. Harati you do like this, ring you do like this. And sometimes they kiss also, like that. They do like that. Many people do that. Many. So, this is how, that means now as long as you are holding on to that ring with Hanuman, You are holding on to the fear. That is not a solution to the fear. Now fear is thoroughly crystallized and it is hanging from your finger. It will be there. As long as you hold on to this Hanuman, the fear will be there, right? Why? Because you are seeking security from Hanuman. That's why you are keeping the ring on. So why are you seeking security from Hanuman? Because you are afraid. Right? I don't know whether you get it. I will, let me slightly digress and put a question to you. I make a statement. People are unhappy. You may ask me, how do you know? How do you know people are unhappy? Shall I answer your question? Assuming that you have asked me like that, my answer is, people are unhappy because they are seeking happiness. Very simple, you know. Suppose somebody stops seeking happiness, what does it mean? He is happy. Therefore, in this world, all people seeking happiness are unhappy people, and only those few who do not seek any happiness at all, they are the happy people. Did you get it? Put security in the place of happiness. Do you seek security or not? Yes, then you are unhappy, you are afraid. Suppose you do not seek any security, then you are not afraid. You seek security only because you are afraid. Therefore, look at the people and see whether they are seeking security. If they are seeking security, it means they are living with fear. I am not talking about caution, precaution. I am not talking about that. I am talking about fear. You get it right, in the right spirit. Okay? So I am not talking about being foolhardy, etc. I am talking practically, whatever you have to do, you please do it. But I am examining the structure of fear. Why do you seek security all the time? So because you are afraid. You see, I remember a friend of mine, he wanted to start a business. A small business, he brought some money, took some money from bank, and he wanted to start the business. One fine morning, the business opens for public. He asked a Mahatma to fix the Muhurtam. And the Mahatma fixed the Muhurtam. I told this story earlier. And then he took the Muhurtam on a piece of paper and went, and about to start the business next day. Then that evening a friend told, when are you starting your business? Tomorrow morning. Arre, tomorrow how can you start? Tomorrow is Tuesday and Amavasya. Then that is what the Mahatma gave me, the Muhurtam. What time he told? 9:30 he told. That is Durmuhurta time. Then this man rushed to the Mahatma. Haven't you tomorrow 9:30 is Durmuhurta, tomorrow is Tuesday, which is a bad day. Tuesday is supposed to be bad day. Amangalam Mangala Namadheyam. It is Mangalavara, it is not Mangalavara, it is Amangalavara. Therefore it's a bad day. Though we may call it Mangalavara, it is really Amangalavara. That is what they say. Okay? And therefore, and Mangala is not a good planet also, for your information. You must be knowing it. Anyway, so Durmuhurta is the wrong time to start the business, and that to Amavasya. Then the Mahatma told, I gave you the Muhurta. My intention is you start it at a bad time, so that all difficulties you will face in the beginning of your business, stand like a man, be a man. Face all the hardships that crop up in the business. Business will not be a bed of roses that you go on picking up profits and put in your bank account. You will have all kinds of difficulties. You face them. Let them come. What all difficulties have to come, let them come now. And I will face them. That's why I gave you that Muhurta. You go and start in that Muhurta. You know, he had understood the spirit of the Mahatma. He started, and today he is running a successful business. Successful in the sense he is doing, still the business is going on. there must be some profit coming. He is living in a good house also. So, and his children are studying well. So he must be doing a reasonably good business. Therefore, people live in insecurity. That's why they are constantly seeking security. Put it the other way. They are seeking security. Therefore they are insecure. It is the other way. And the mind seeks various escapes from fear. You see, a mind in fear is a dull mind. It cannot ask questions because it is afraid. Once you are afraid, you cannot ask a question. That is how the religions hold sway over the flock. Because the followers are not supposed to question. They are followers, they are not supposed to question. And they have to follow, they have to believe. That is what religion is. That is how religions of the world keep their flock together. And so such a mind which lives in fear is incapable of clarity. Therefore no Atmajnanam, nothing. Only you will get some conceptual knowledge and put in your brain cells, that's all. That's why these superstitious people, these people who live with fear, they will never know what is Atma. I will write it. If you get a bond paper, I will write it and sign and give you. How can you can never have clarity of thought when you live under fear. And when there is no clarity of thought, Atmajnanam will not descend from above into your head. That is not how it happens. These are some of the basic things. You see, these problems are there in medical field also, but not so much. In the medical field, the doctors and the scientists who do research in medicine, etc., they can be a little more open and frank with the public. That will do a lot of good to the public. This I read in JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association editorial. You may go back and check. The editorial talks of a conference on diabetology in Chicago, attended by many researchers, and papers were presented. In a given session, 5, 6, 7 papers will be presented. And then discussions happen. And daily there are 2 or 3 sessions, 3 days conference. How many papers are presented? Then the editor of that JAMA, he bemoans that there is not one paper which tries to prevent diabetes. Not one paper. It is a lifestyle disease, for God's sake. It is a metabolic disorder. It is not an illness of a different kind. There are many kinds of illnesses. This is not like that. This is a mere metabolic disorder. It is not even an illness, except some special cases. It is a metabolic disorder. Means if you change your lifestyle, you can put it aside. Not one paper talks about its nature, the nature of diabetes being a metabolic disorder, and hence in most of the cases, 90% or above cases, it can be got rid of, and not one paper about it. Sulfonylureas were there, now new drugs are coming, what are the side effects, how to counter this, only these papers, not one. So the editorial bemoans about it. We should have some papers and some discussion how to prevent it, how to reverse it. This is prevention and reversal, not one paper about it. Means even the medical community has yielded or gave in to the public dullness. Public are dull. Patients are dull, they are not agile, there is no clarity of understanding, they don't want to come out of it, they want to live with it, they want to manage it. That is how the public is. And therefore medical community subserves this attitude. Did I exaggerate it? Did I exaggerate it? Maybe I have exaggerated to make a point. But is there some truth in what I said? If so, this problem is worse in the context of Vedanta. It is even worse. I gave you an example. In Vedanta it is worse. Because you go to study Vedanta and acquire new fears under some kind of conceptual Atma and Brahma. Some ideas about Atma. Idea is not the truth, you should know that. There is a mechanism called ideation. What happens is, when something is told, you form an idea about it. Okay, just I will give an example, please think about it. There is heaven above, 7 up, heaven is there. In heaven is also ruled by the king who is Indra. And in heaven there are rishis and also devatas, gods and rishis are there. In heaven there are a group of beautiful dancers. Don't you know this much? I know the names also. So, Rambha, Urvashi, only this much you know. Ghrutachi, do you know? Purvachittihi. And I know some more names also. The list I forgot. I have by-hearted the list. Ghrutachi, Apsarasa, Purvachittir, Apsarasa. Then so many Apsarasas are there. So did you hear to me carefully? Did you hear what I said? Did you understand what I said? Now you know what I meant? That is the ideation. You now understand what is called ideation? Means a nice idea is formed in your mind. Is it not so? Is that idea the truth? No, it is just an idea, nothing more than that. Not that I went to heaven and saw and talked with them and came back. Nothing of that kind. It is an idea. And the mind has this process of ideation. Mind has certain functions, automaton, ideation. Like that there are. And therefore, you go to Vedanta and acquire a few ideas as part of this process of ideation. And in addition to that, acquire half a dozen fears and come home. And then continue the good job of spreading the ideation and fears together. It is a disservice to the public. Therefore, and one more thing, as long as there is fear of any kind in your mind, there is no clarity of thinking, no understanding possible. And then, now I tell you, you cannot love. When there is fear, you become incapable of love. Why the life partners, wife and husband, why do they fight with each other? Because why can't they love each other instead of fighting with each other? Because they are afraid of each other. You know that. There is fear. Because the woman is called abala. Abala means without help, not helpless, strengthless. Not helpless. She has all the help in the world. Only this poor guy is helpless. Even the judiciary is on her side. In India, you go to a court and ask for divorce, the man, he will never get it. Never. Nobody will give divorce. Indian courts won't give any judgment on any case. But when it comes to divorce cases, the worst. The worst means worst. Finally, the judge says day 1, and he says day 1000, and he says day 2000, settle outside. And these people settle outside day 2000. You know that? By then the lawyers have made lot of money. Chalo. Therefore, a mind which is afraid, which has fear, cannot love. Love is not easy. Love is Brahma. It is Atma. It is God. Love is God. It is not easy. So, if you can love wholeheartedly, you are already divine. And to love fully, you should be fearless. Fear, where there is fear, there cannot be love. You know what happens? Where there is fear, that leads to hate. They go together. Love and fear cannot coexist in the same heart. Therefore, you should get rid of fear. Fear destroys the mind and makes the mind ugly. Ugly, I tell you. I went to a home for bhiksha. They invited, I went. They are well-to-do people. I don't mind. Well-to-do people are not a problem. That is their punyam and they can enjoy their wealth. I don't have an issue with it. So, the moment I went there, I noticed the man having so many ropes around his hand. They are not ropes, what they are called? Sutra. Talismans. So many of them. Not one, 3 or 4. And then he has a locket in his neck. The locket is particularly decorated with the nail of a tiger. And it is sold for a lot of price. And it is incorporated into the golden locket. And inside the locket, God is sitting. God means Kala Bhairava or some such weird God is sitting. They invent New Year and New Year gods sitting. And that is the gentleman who invited me for bhiksha. And the deal is I will have bhiksha in the evening. I don't have time to go around. I will come to the airport. And their home is closer to the airport by at least half an hour or 45 minutes. So I have optimized. I will come to your home for that bhiksha evening and have bhiksha and I will sit for a while and if you give me a cup of tea I will take. And then I will go to airport, please arrange it. Or otherwise I will arrange for myself. That was the date I could allot for bhiksha because there was a demand and so I allotted. When I go, he is so much superstitious person. His wife is no better. So I had my bhiksha and I wanted to do some service to them. What service I can do? I only did not hesitate to tell them, you should step out of these beliefs and you should become free. You have a big house. You have all the wealth in the world. Keep it. I don't need any of your wealth. You keep it by all means. But live in freedom. Don't live in fear. And they have a few doubts and I answered those doubts and I went my way. People are like that. Therefore, the fear makes the mind ugly. Ugly means ugly. The persons who are afraid, the kind of rituals they perform, if you know some Sanskrit, you will understand how ugly these things are there. Ugly means ugly. And it destroys the mind. Therefore, there is the fear, you should watch it and you should get out of it. How to get out of it also means you watch the fear. Never ever escape from the fear. Also, generally, when you think of the past pain, these are some of the more common fears, not so ugly. You think of the past pain, you are afraid. This is the dental, the dentist chair syndrome it is. It is, so you ask me, Swami, why don't you have an implant? Implant? No, I don't want implant. Then you will die this moment. I am ready to die this moment. I don't want implant. Why? What is your problem with implant? So much safe developments have, I am afraid. Implant means I am afraid because I remember the past pain. These are more common fears, not ugly. Human nature or whatever label you give to it. So fear of the repetition of the past pain can cause some fear. So don't, there also, what is the origin of fear? Thought. Because it is the thought which repeats or relives the past and produces fear. So thought is the origin of fear. One Mahatma used to say, thought breeds fear. And when you are quiet, there is no fear. You are fearless already. In meditation, you remain quiet, you are fearless. Therefore, it is the thought that brings fear upon itself. This is the structure of fear, understanding of fear. Now, you put the mind in a state of complete attention. Complete attention. Okay? And never escape from the sense of fear. Pay attention to the sense of fear. Nothing wrong to have the sense of fear. After all, just let me readjust it. After all, we are all human beings, you know. So no harm in, suppose I have some fear. That doesn't no need to feel a shame or anything. After all, we are all human beings. So we are bound to have some fear. And so the point is, never escape from the fear. Pay attention. Attention, you see, attention gives you, did you pay attention? Did you notice this? You are paying attention all these days in meditation and all that. I suggest this. Please check whether you agree with me. Attention, it produces enormous inner energy. Lot of energy. That inner energy, it is not physical energy, that inner spiritual energy, if I may say so. And that energy will drive away the fear. It is good. Therefore, this attention and the energy born out of attention is the way to get rid of fear, and it liberates you, it gives you freedom. Okay? So what is that attention? Attention is Atma. Attention is Atma. And in Atma there is no fear. Therefore, identify with the thought or mind, you live in fear. Pay attention, you be the attention. Be the awareful being, which is another name for attention, no fear. You be in the present moment, no fear. Because fear comes from thought. Thought is the reliving of the past, causing fear. And thought projects the future, causing fear. And beliefs cause fear. Superstitions, of course, are the main source of fear. This is how people live. And so what all people have to do is understand that I am not the thought. I rise above the thought. I don't allow the thought to bring fear upon itself. I watch the thought. I pay attention to the fear as and when that happens, if it has to happen. And then never try to escape from fear, either in the worldly way or in the religious way. You are free from fear. We are done with that verse. Bhaya Adi is there. Yeah. It was pinching earlier. Yes, no, it's okay. But it took its time to pinch. So Bhaya Adi is there. Adi means etc. Generally when Adi is there, we add one more item. And that is worry. This worry I reserve it for a Yaksha Prashna class. Okay, let us say the verse. Amanastvānna me duḥkharāgadveṣabhayādayaḥ. aprāṇo hyamanāḥ śubhra ityādi śrutiśāsanāt nirguṇo. That verse we have taken some time, but we finished it thoroughly. Now comes an interesting verse. Nirguṇo niṣkriyo nityaḥ nirvikalpo niraṃjanaḥ nirvikāro nirākārah nityamukto'smi nirmalaḥ. Most of the words, they begin with nir, not ni, nir. Nir means not having that thing. You are free from that thing. Nir. Nirmalaḥ, you are free from impurity. And there are two words which are nitya. Both are nitya. Nityaha, nityamuktaha. Nitya is eternal. So we will go through this verse. Most of it we have covered. Already the ideas were mentioned earlier, but they are asserted one more time. So nirguṇaha, I am not gunas. I am free from gunas. What are gunas? Sattva-rajas-tamo guna. They are the gunas. Not qualities like goodness or hatred, not like that. They are also called gunas sometimes. Suguna, durguna. Did you hear that? We are not talking of that. Good qualities, bad qualities, no. The technical qualities, three of them. So I am free from the three gunas. Very simple. What are the three gunas? Tamoguna is the body. Rajoguna is the life, vital force. Sattvaguna is the knowledge. And I am free from all the three. Okay? Atma is not the knowledge in the head. Atma is not knowledge. Atma is the knowing element. And it is the witness to the knowledge also. That is what Atma is. Understand? Therefore, don't confuse Atma with the knowledge in the head. But then in the mantra, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, there what about it? There Jnanam is the knowing element. Jnaptihi. It is not the accumulated knowledge. It is not. Okay? There is a big discussion about it. There itself in the Bhashya and all that. The word is called Jnanam. That is one special context where Jnanam means something other than what normally people think. Okay? Knowing element. That is the way you have to understand it. Therefore, Atma is not Jnanam. There is so much Jnanam in your head. You are all professional people. All kinds of knowledge you have accumulated and put in the head. You have taken so much time to accumulate all that knowledge. You start with kg1. kg1 they say. When the child weighs just 1 kg, so then enters kg1. And since then, come out with the PhD graduation. How many years it is? PhD is not accumulation. Drop it. MSc graduation. Okay? How many years it takes? So at least 15 years it takes. All that period, what were you doing? Semester after semester. So 15 years means 30 semesters. You are accumulating knowledge, writing an exam. Accumulating knowledge, writing an exam. So like that, we have accumulated a lot of knowledge. Some of it is still sitting here. Some of it. Some of it is forgotten, but we know where to get it. Reference books are kept, so you can refer to it. Therefore, somehow, you are very familiar with all that knowledge because you have accumulated it with a lot of devotion and effort. A tremendous effort has gone into it. Atma is not that knowledge. Got it? Because that knowledge is sattva guna. Atma is not. That's why when it comes to Atma Jnanam, among the qualifications, the degrees, etc., are not part of the qualifications. But still, in the Vedanta courses that they do here and there, they invite applications. And in the application, they ask, what are your qualifications? In fact, they take a conscious decision to select only graduates, which is a reasonable decision. Because the teaching is done in a language, English, and then Sanskrit is there, part of the course. Therefore, if the person is not educated at all, he is a high school, primary school dropout, how he can fit into this study? He cannot, right? Therefore, for that reason, particularly the reasons associated with the medium of instruction, the language in which the Vedanta is taught, So it is taught in English, and some Sanskrit is also added to that. It is made a kind of compulsory. There is a name for it. It is called saparikaradvaita. Advaita associated with parikaras. Parikara means instruments. Now, if it is saparikara, it cannot be Advaita. Contradiction, don't you see? If it is Advaita, there cannot be parikaras hanging on to that. It is like Vishishtadvaita. Vishishtadvaita is the oneness associated. Now, how can you call it oneness when it is associated? Associated oneness kya hota hai? Associated oneness cannot be there. There can only be associated two-ness. Associated oneness is an oxymoron. Such a thing doesn't exist. Okay? So, but still people follow that. Anyway, therefore, in these courses, for the purpose of instruction, and some texts are in Sanskrit, therefore some Sanskrit, they are taken as qualifications, but otherwise for Atma Jnanam, they are not qualification at all. Atma Jnanam is understanding oneself. What qualification you need? You are yourself or not? You are yourself or you are somebody else? Or something else, you tell me. You are yourself or you are something else? You want to consult someone and tell? No, you want to tell, you are yourself, right? And you have know that. To know that, you don't need any qualification. For that Atma Jnanam qualifications are, you have to pay attention to yourself. You will know yourself. That's it. To pay attention to yourself, you have to withdraw attention from the world. Therefore, now qualifications come. Viveka, Vairagya. First, know myself versus the world. Viveka. Withdraw attention from the world. Vairagya. But to keep that Vairagya going, to keep it in good state, you need a modicum of control or command over the mind. Therefore, Shamadama, etc. And also it is important to know what do you want. I want heaven. Then you are not a candidate for Vedanta. Therefore, it is important to know what do you want. Mumukshutvam. These are the qualifications. In these qualifications, literacy, educational, they are not there because they are part of Sattva Guna. So this is important. Important to tell highly qualified people, because otherwise they hang on to their qualification. That is the problem. The qualification that you have acquired is not going to make you wise. It made you knowledgeable, but not wise. Not necessarily wise. Wise is different from knowledgeable. They are two different things. Therefore, this has to be said. Particularly, this has to be said for Vedanta scholars. Because not only the other kind of scholarship doesn't help, but also Vedanta scholarship doesn't help. In fact, it becomes an obstacle. That's why I say the intellectuals are very tough nuts. Very tough. It is difficult to teach the intellectuals. Some simple people who do not know anything, you bring them and keep there, you can teach. My classes back in India, the rickshaw puller comes. He comes and parks the rickshaw outside and comes and sits in the class. He understands. And the auto man comes. In Kakinada class, auto man comes. The auto driver, he comes to the class. Because he can understand what I am saying. The verse he may not understand, but by the time I explain it in Telugu, he can get it. And they can get better than the highly qualified people. Highly qualified people, when they sit in the class, all that knowledge acts like a screen. And they find it very hard to keep open mind. Open mind is not easy. Very tough it is to have an open mind. And anyway, the point is, don't hang on to your qualifications. Leave them behind and rise above. Then life, you see, if you are a strong man, don't be proud of your strength. Rise above. If you are healthy, don't be proud of your health. We never know. Rise above. Okay? Keep good health. That is essential. But not to become proud of good health. Then why good health? To rise above good health. That's why. Unless you are good in health, you cannot rise above health. Bad health holds you down. Anyway, all these points are well covered. Therefore, you rise above the physical strength. Don't be proud on those counts. The life, the physical strength is not connected to Atma. You have to rise above that. That's why people who are deaf, dumb, etc., are lame, they are all eligible for Atmajnanam because they are all the situations associated with Rajoguna. Indriyas. Indriyas are Rajoguna. Therefore, rise above. Nirindriyataya, we have seen that. Then Tamoguna, body. You have to rise above the body. Generally, it is said, this body identification you must have put aside quite early in the study of Vedanta. That is how it is suggested. But unfortunately, even after 10 years of study of Vedanta, still you are struggling with body identification. That is misfortune. It is generally understood that we are done with this body identification quite early in our journey of self-knowledge, quite early. Now no more body identification business. That we have given up long back. We are through with it. Therefore, we don't pamper the body, we don't neglect the body, we just keep it going. That's all. You are done with body identification quite early in your pursuit. That is rising above tamoguna. So you have to discover yourself as nirguṇah. What a freedom it is. This is called simplicity. You have to be very simple. Not only outwardly simple, but also inwardly simple. Suppose you are proud of your qualification. That means you are complex inwardly. Outwardly you may be simple, but you are complex inwardly. So, suppose you are identified with the body and associated with the body identification, all kinds of things you are holding on to. Birth, this, that. I need not say what are all those things you know. You are holding on to all of that, which means you are not simple within. You may be wearing a lion cloth outwardly, very simple, but inwardly very complex. People are like that. Inwardly very complex, outwardly very simple. In India you come across many people who are outwardly very simple, just wearing a loin cloth and a covering like that and nothing else, very simple. But inwardly they are very complex. You go near, they say don't come near. Maharaj, don't go near, like that. So this is because you people are not able to rise above gunas. So Atma, nirguṇah. Atma is myself and yourself. That is the Atma. So you have to declare to yourself, aham nirguṇah, nirguṇoham. I am free from the sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. Okay? Let us see one or two questions before we conclude this session. How to translate the word shrotriya? Not a big deal. You can easily translate it. So Brahmanistha, etc., all that. Brahmanistha translation is different. The word is a samasa. Shrotriya is not samasa. It is a tadhita pratyayanta or a krut pratyayanta, whatever. So Shrotriya is wise man. Okay? That is the translation. So now that is over. A very long paragraph about one meaning of the word. Shrotriya is a wise person. Leave it there. Then creative is opposite to belief? No. Creative is not opposite to belief. Creative means you are already beyond the domain of the mind. You are creative thinking. You may still call it thinking, but creative thinking is not the thinking of the routine mind. It is not routine thought. Creative thinking means it is much deeper than the mind. You are already, what is called intuition, intuitive understanding. Something like that is creative thinking. You have Atma, you have mind, right? Between the two, you can put a few things closer to Atma, but certainly beyond the mind. Like what? Like intuitive thinking or intuitive understanding, learning, what all I am saying, they are deeper than thought. Okay? Whereas belief is the corruption of thought. Thought, not corruption, conditioning of thought. Belief is conditioning of thought. It is thought only, conditioned thought. So belief is like a tram car. When thought is like a tram car, you know, tram car, point A to point B, driverless car. Driverless car is the best example for belief. Because all the software is already fixed and it is in the mind, and so the outward situation also, the driverless car, it moves from point A to point B. Now, at one time, tram car was like that, but now driverless cars also have become like tram cars. So the driverless car is told, this is point A, and this is point B. Go from A to B. It goes from A to B. That's all. And then from B to come back to A. That is the tram car. It doesn't need a driver. Like these airport cars, those big trains, there is no driver for that. You don't need a driver. Because it doesn't think, you know. These believers are like that. They are like tram cars. They don't think. They stop thinking. They anesthetize themselves and come to the Maharaj. Anesthetize the brain and come to the Maharaj. So they don't think. That is belief. As creative is not opposite of belief. It is something highly transcendental with reference to belief, not opposite. And self-reliance is an approach to life. Creative thinking is by which thinking you understand the secrets of life or deep things of life. So there you understand them by creative thinking. For example, if you understand that we do not live life, life is lived. I don't live, I am lived. So I do not control the fate of the body. The laws of nature control the fate of the body. Suppose you understand all that. That is creative thinking. Okay? Whereas self-reliance means you do not psychologically depend upon others. That is self-reliance. Okay? They are interrelated, but they are not same. They are not opposites also. Then ultimate freedom. Yeah, self-reliance is essential for freedom. Creative thinking is the summum bonum of freedom. You need it. Without creative thinking, there can be no freedom. And do we need something more for freedom? Understanding, learning, creative thinking, all of these things, self-reliance, all of them you need. Some more also you need. What is the problem? Sadhana chatushtaya, we need 4 things. And within that, one of them is 6 things. 4 things, 6 things means you should not be afraid that so many things are being put on us. You should not be afraid because they are all interrelated. Like the table, you pull one leg, 4 legs will come to you. So they are all interrelated. And you should not be afraid, don't make lists how many things we have to fulfill like that. Don't make a list like that. Like mother cooks food. So how many things I have to fulfill while making nice food? Will she make a list? No. Very spontaneously, naturally they do it. Similarly, you be spontaneous about it. Creative thinking you will get, intuitive understanding you will get, learning you will get, self-reliance also will be with you. All those things will be with you. Wherever necessary, you pay attention and get it. Good. We'll come back. ఓం పూర్ణమదః పూర్ణమిదం